Okay, this is puzzle 13 in lesson 17. I feel that a lot of us are going to struggle a bit with this one, so I decided to make a video to share with us. So in this one, I think the biggest thing is they give us functions, but we hopefully read the directions carefully, where each sprout is going to grow just one corn or nothing, so it can't be multiple corns. But here was something really important that we might have missed. You will need to edit the functions directly. So they give us functions, however, some of them may not work. But let's go ahead and sort of break this down and see how we could dissect this puzzle. So my character has to get through this kind of this zigzag. And every time I do this coding, I see if there's a repeat, if something repeats. And I notice down here that same zigzag pattern also occurs, where you have to move forward, turn right, move forward, turn left, check for the cabbage, move forward, turn right, move forward, check for the cabbage, turn left. So I'm going to go ahead and create a function for that because I'm going to use that code 2 times. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's the functions, and let's go ahead and name it, I don't know, cabbage zigzag. Let's just call it zigzag. Okay. So what do we need to do for each of these zigzags? Well, I'm going to move forward, turn right. Okay, and then move forward. I could check for the cabbage now, or after I turn, let's go and just turn left. It really doesn't matter that specific sequence. And I need to make sure I check for the cabbage. And I'm going to be doing that also. The cabbage could have multiple patches, or the lettuce, I'm sorry, I keep saying cabbage. The lettuce could have multiple heads of lettuce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a function for that. I'm going to call it similar to this one. Let's just do check for cabbage. Okay, I can't use the same one that we already have here because this one is only a singular. If there's a corn, they're going to pick a corn, so you're just going to check once. So I'm going to use a conditional while there is lettuce. Oops, I said cabbage again, didn't I? While there's lettuce, I'm going to go ahead and pick the lettuce. So actions, pick lettuce. Okay, so now I could go ahead and use the function. Where is it? Function. I'm going to go ahead and check for lettuce after you do that. So what my plans are for that is I'm going to go ahead and go down here. Oops, it's really big. I'm going to go right down. Here I'm going to check the lettuce, and here I'm going to check the lettuce. So forward right, forward left, check for lettuce. Okay, and I'm going to have to repeat that. So instead of redoing the code, well, I think it's probably in our best interest to use a repeating block because it's going to save us some blocks, and it's just going to be faster because, again, I'm going to move forward, turn right, move forward, turn left, check for lettuce. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear the screen, and let's go ahead and make this a repeat. And I'm just going to repeat this 2 times. And the best thing to do, and I do this very often, is just go ahead and check to see if my code is working. So I'm going to check the zigzag to see if the zigzag works just for this first patch. Okay, and it looks like it does work. Okay, we didn't finish the puzzle, of course, but we just want to get through this zigzag, and we know we're going to use that same code down here as well. Okay, so let's reset. Now we notice that we're trying to pick the corn as well along this path. So let's go ahead and identify the code for the functions they already gave us. So we have check for corn. If there's corn, we're going to pick the corn. And I think that works because, remember, the sprouts are going to grow one corn or nothing. And then the next is pick along the path. So we're going to repeat until there are pumpkins, check for corn, and move forward. And we're noticing right away that this sounds a little bit off because we don't have any pumpkins. So we're going to have to fix this code. But what I like to do, again, is just to see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the pick along the path code and run it. Just run it once and we're going to see what happens. Okay. So we got to the very end of a single line, okay, but we still but we haven't gotten to the rest of it, and we have an error because of course there are no pumpkins. So I'm taking a look. I have a straight line going here. Let's see, let me draw. I have a straight line going here, that's 1. I'm going up, that's 2. Going left, that's 3. Going down, that's 4. Now at first I was thinking, okay, why don't we go ahead and keep going until there's a corn, because at the corner there's corn or a sprout and we could check corner, corner. But here we don't check at the very end. So it seems to me that we want to check while we're moving. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and completely get rid of this because we know there's no pumpkins. And let's take a look at the conditionals we could use. We could repeat until there's a lettuce or corn or pumpkin. Oops. We could do something while something is happening. Again, while there's something happening. Or we could do while a path is ahead. And it seems to me we just want to go straight while there's a path ahead. So let's go ahead and do that. While there's a path ahead, well, what do I want to do? I want to check the whole time to see if there's, was it corn? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we're going to move forward and then we're going to check for corn. If there's corn, we're going to pick the corn. And we already have that function pre-made, and it seems that we could just use that function. So let's double check again. I know we're not done, but let's double check to see if this looks okay. Yeah, and it looks like it looks good. So we can't just say pick along the path again. What do we have to do? Well, I want to turn the character or the sprite to the left. So let's go ahead and say turn left. And then maybe we could run it again. Pick along the path. And let's just double check to see if it works 2 times. Okay. So it looks like it works. And if let's go ahead and try it 2 more times. We're going to turn left again. Pick along the path. Turn left. Pick along the path. And I know many of you guys are already thinking of this, Mr. Tran, why don't we go ahead and use repeating loop? And let's go ahead and do that. We're just testing right now to see if it works, and it does look like it works. So we know that this repeats a couple times. I'm going to go ahead and, so we're going to say repeats 4 times. Okay, and again, I know we're not done yet. Remember, there's the first loop, the second loop, the third loop, and the 4th loop. And perfect, he's actually turning the direction we want, because remember at the beginning that character is looking this way to the character's right. Okay, and so what do we have to do to finish this? Well, again, we're going to repeat the same code or that same function that I used in the very beginning. So I'm going to use that function, what do we call it, zigzag, and we're going to go ahead and try it out. And we're going to notice that it does indeed look like it actually works.